I'm Alyson Steel, and I just got interviewed by the KeithAndrewNetwork. He's awesome. You guys have to go and watch these programs. He's so cool, so much fun. Terrific interview. Super fun.
Gentlemen, I am your host Keith Andrew, and this is 530. I'm here with the talented and beautiful Alyson Steel, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. This is really exciting.
The honor's all mine. Hey, you're supporting a good cause and making a new friend of it. Don't mind me. You're making a good cause. I'm just distracted by your beauty. You're supporting a good cause and making a new friend of it. It's a win-win.
Totally. I'm distracted by your awesomeness. Are you kidding?
For people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. It's to prove to them you still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. With that being said, half hour, 33 minutes of your time. Don't mind me, I'm looking at you, but it kind of looks like I'm looking away, so I really need a better setup. But if my eyes drift to the opposite side, just let me know.
I totally get it.
But for people who want to know what the show is, like I said, I interview actors, actresses, models, CEOs, professional wrestlers, cheerleaders, dancers, people with disabilities, people without disabilities. But I'm showing you, look at what I can accomplish. And people are turned off by my catchphrase, like, oh, so you only interview people with disabilities. No, I am turning myself into an example, and I interview everyone. Huh. I thought your show was about disabilities. And I'm like, I can't win this conversation.
That's right. I love you already. We all have disabilities anyway, some sort. We all have something.
That's true.
Whether you show it or not. And it's funny because I love you to change your catchphrase from, you said something like that you still can amount to something, and I'm like, still, you are amounted to something. Like, every time you say that to me now, I'm like, no, you are amounted to, you have become, like, you're there.
Hey, may I help you? But we can talk about that all.
I've been thinking about that for the last few weeks.
I didn't mean to interrupt. The sound was kind of out. What was it?
Not at all. No, I've been thinking about that for the last few weeks because I was Googling you and looking at your stuff, and I'm like, you know what? It's not that you are. Like, there is no still. You're there. You're amounting to more than people who don't have disabilities.
No, I agree. It's not a contest, but like I said, there's people that are motivated, people that have their BAs and bachelors, but they like to sit back and take the easy road. But yet you have someone with a disability who's working their asses off, because people with disabilities have to work 10 times harder than a normal person. But with that being said, you can say anything you want, talk about whatever you want.
That's right.
But the first question I was going to ask you was, growing up, did you do any sports, and were you a study nerd or party animal?
All right, do I do any sports? I don't know if you would consider yoga a sport, but I do yoga 6 days a week.
Nice.
I do yoga. So I do yoga. It's called Ashtanga yoga, and it's where all the yoga was brought to the United States years ago. That's where it all kind of branched off from Ashtanga. So if you know, remember, I don't know if you're old enough to remember when Madonna used to be doing yoga back in the 90s.
Right.
That's the kind of yoga that I practice. Actually, her teacher is my teacher.
What about, for a while on the subject, who influenced you to get into yoga? And have you ever tried one of those, I was trying to think, I think it's acrobatic ones where you do the different stunts or the towers and everything, like the pyramid things for multiple people, or you just do the basic yoga?
Like it's kind of, I don't want to say basic. It's really like disciplined, and you go according to the moon. Like you don't practice on a full moon or a new moon, and you take Saturdays off. So it's very like rigid in that sense, but not rigid in the sense that you kind of make your own schedule. And but I've done all different kinds of yoga. I haven't done like the goat yoga or anything like that, if that's what you mean, or the laughing yoga. But no, I haven't done that.
Would you be interested in doing like the free person yoga, or are you just like the basics?
Just the basics. If you look up Ashtanga, that's what I do. It's pretty hardcore.
Hey, if you want to teach me, I appreciate it.
What's that?
Oh, if you ever want to teach me, I appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you was, were you a study nerd or a party animal? And what did you major in?
In college, grad school, or all of it?
Well, everything.
You know, I don't consider myself a party animal. First of all, like as you get older, I just find alcohol like just does horrible things to my system. So I don't like to drink much. You know, a toast here and there, but I just drinking is just not. It doesn't. It's just a downer. So like again, a few sips here and there, great. But even when I was younger, like if I was like partying, I'd always like end up throwing up. I was just never, or like I'm an early bird, so even like in the dating world, people are like, hey, how about we go out at 10 o'clock? And I'm like, no, I'm 50. I'm not going out at 10 o'clock at night. You know, or you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to start going out. So I've always been kind of an early bird. And I think for the early birds out there, like even when you're 20s and like 30s or teens, I was always the one like, I'm tired. Can I go to bed now? Like I never really wanted to to party, or you know, like I'd party, but I'd always sooner, you know, go to bed early.
I'm like the same way. I don't drink or smoke. But, you know, when people used to say, oh, it's past your bedtime, because I usually go to sleep about like 10:30.
Me too.
It's like, how late do you want to stay up?
I know. It's like, how are you going to get anything done the next day? It doesn't make any sense.
It's true. Now, my last easy question for you, and then we're going to go to the hard-hitting ones. And the first one is, have you ever gotten a chance to do one of those human, and when I'm turning this into a subject because it's one of my things I like, have you ever got the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
I've never done that. That sounds really fun. Like, kind of like the dancing thing, and then when you're out, no, I've never done that. Have you?
No, I want to do one.
You do? Why?
I don't know. Since I was 4, it was always something I was interested in. I always took a fancy to it.
Gotcha. That sounds fun.
Now, I'm going to ask you some questions about it, because I want to turn into a subject. The first one is, I know you're on an exercise ball. So the first one I'm going to ask you, what do you do the pyramid on a base, solid base, or the ball? What's more fun?
A ball. How did you know I was on a ball?
Like a guess.
It's better for your hips. It really is. It opened my hips a lot more, and it strengthens your lower back and your core. So I definitely recommend a ball, because I have my chair in the back, because I'm like, oh, just in case. But yeah, an exercise ball is really good. It forces you to, because we're not meant to sit for so long, and we sit for hours a day. So you know.
No, I agree. And it's funny you mention that, not to go off subject, but they did a test, and it's like people do better work when they're on an exercise ball than a chair.
Yes, because it kind of gives you a little joy. It's true. Like a little bounce gives you bounce. Yeah.
Now, my last. Oh,
I'm
go
very
ahead.
punchy today. Okay, good.
I didn't mean to interrupt. You can go.
What's that? Say again.
Oh, you were saying something. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, I said I'm very punny today. And your last question?
Oh, my last two is, how many people would you have in the pyramid? Would you do like a 6-person, 10, or would you set a record? And where would you want to be? Bottom, middle, or top?
Where would I want to be in a pyramid? That's a good question. I guess I would want to be on the top. Because then I could climb up everybody. I'd be a little scared to carry all that weight. But you know what? I'm such a Libra, I can't make up my mind. I feel like, well, it depends on the day. I guess being on the bottom, you can be really solid. And then being in the middle, you can just kind of be like a strength for everyone. But being on the top sounds kind of fun. So I guess it just depends on the day. That's a really cool question.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
No, you're a winner. It's good. I've never been asked that before.
But if you're interested, maybe we can get a group of people together and do some records.
That's right.
Now, going to your acting career, is I noticed that you were CEO. Who influenced you to start your own company, number one? And who influenced you to start being an actress?
Well, I wanted to be an actor ever since I was a kid, like I could, one of those typical stories. And after high school, I went to the High School of Performing Arts in New York City, and then went to I was the last graduating class of '84. So if you watch the movie Fame, those were some of my teachers and my friends. And then I went to Queens College, got my BA, went to Stony Brook University in Long Island, and got my MFA. And then, with stars in my eyes, I came out to LA at 27, had a boyfriend, dropped him 6 months later. Typical story. It's like kind of very typical. And, they kind of filled us with a lot of like, you're going to be famous and you're not going to have any problems. Well, that was not necessarily the case. It's hard. I'm looking like every Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox white girl out there. And, so it's hard to book an on-camera acting job. I mean, I've done a few and I still do when I can, when I get the chance. But then I was like, I got the voiceover bug because I was like, well, it's still performing. So I started studying because my acting teachers always said you should honor the profession that you're in by, studying as much as you can. So that's what I did. I started studying, the craft and the business. I made a lot of mistakes along the way, which I teach my students not to do. That's how I started along the path of voiceover out here. So it's been, an interesting haul, and that's how I make 99% of my living.
Well, if you're interested, I do a lot of voiceovers just for fun. I used to do until my YouTube account got kicked off, I did a lot of fan-made parodies of Dumbo and Dumblebuck. I occasionally do Joe dolls for fun. What, do you want to do something for practice?
That would be fun. How come you got kicked off of YouTube? I don't understand. Why would
Pretty much, I was using copyrighted stuff for my talk show, and I said I do not take any rights to it, and they said, well, no action will be taken against your account. You're in good standing, so you're in good standing. No actions just take it on our side or yours. We just want to let you know. Look at my standing. Oh, I'm in excellent standing. Next thing you know, like Friday, 12 o'clock, someone just flips the switch. It's like, oh, your account's been suspended. I'm like, all right. And then I found out, a computer. Then there's no one that actually works there. It's a computer that does everything. So I'm still trying to find someone who works at Google and YouTube. It's like, this is what happened. Let's just fix it and move on.
Yeah,
because if you're arguing with a stupid computer, it's got to say, whatever.
Yeah, you need to get customer service on there. I'll be crossing my fingers for you.
No, I appreciate it, and hopefully I find something better than YouTube.
Yeah, totally.
Now, the next question I was going to ask is, what is your favorite thing about doing voiceovers? And have you ever been any extras or in any films?
I've only done extra work in films. I've never done on-camera work, like where I'm a co-star or anything like that. My favorite part of voiceover is I could kind of like go to work like this. Or if I had to like voice in my pajamas or something like that. And it's creative and it's, it's acting with your voice. So it's fun. Like you kind of think of it like, the sprinkles on top of a cake. It's just like a fun thing to do.
No, absolutely.
Fun, at times it could be, depending on the job, can be a little like exhausting. I mean, I think all jobs have their goods and bads, but that's the fun part, is that it's like really creative and it's acting with your voice basically. So that's a neat thing.
No, I agree. And there's some jobs that I actually enjoy doing. Of course, I screw everything up every time I touch something. But there's certain jobs I enjoyed. Like I enjoyed my North Face job. I've been there over for 3 years, and that was like
Oh, wow.
a fluke because I can't get past the 2 month part. But that was fun. But certain managers got on my case, and then there was a whole BS. Long story short, is one, I wanted to go to my brother's college, and because it's during Black Friday, I worked Black Friday. And it's like, well, there's no one here to pick me up. No one wants to drive me home. How am I supposed to get here? Oh, take a taxi. Yeah, but we're closing at 11, and they close at 10:15. So unless you're giving me a ride home, what the hell am I supposed to do? Because everyone at that time were different areas, and they want the Plattsburgh pot standard, so they're 16 hours away. So I wasn't going to do it. So I said, this is I was written up one time in my life, but I really deserved it. But that's a different story. On this one, it's basically, you remind me of my manager. You look exactly like her, funny enough. And I walked over, and here's an example. I walk over to you, and you said 2 weeks ago we were talking about education and how the back comes first, the job will always be there. And I said, remember the conversation we had? I had an opportunity to go check out my brother's college and colleges, and we can stay, and I can stay there, sleep over, get the college experience. However, before that, before I approached you, I talked to the other guy, and who was a real dick, by the way. And I don't know what his problem was. Probably me. But I said to him, I have to go. I have no transportation. I don't drive. No one wants to give me a ride home. And he says, you going to do what you got to do. And whatever happens to you, happens to you. And I said, well, do I have your permission to go? And he basically slammed the door in my face. And I'm like, all right, that wasn't a no. So I then went over to you, and I told you what happened. And he's like, oh, go, and I'll take care of it. Come back, because you guys are buddies and best friends. They say, oh, you lied to her, you misled her. I said to you, do not go. And basically, they wrote me up because I put one manager against the other, but one said yes, the other said no. Long story short. So yeah, that was a fake write-up. With that being said, not to complain to you, that's a little much drama on my part. But I was going to ask you, have you ever worked with people? Apparently, you're working with me, so you work with people with disabilities. But have you ever worked with people with disabilities, and are you willing to work with people with disabilities?
Oh, I haven't really worked. Yes, I have actually. I lie. I trained one girl who has, what does she have? Muscular dystrophy. So I trained her for a while. She was in a wheelchair, and I teach people via Skype, or Zoom, which is a really good platform, by the way. And then you can have more than one. Like you should look into it if you don't know about it. But yes, I trained her, and I want to say there was like one more person, but that her name was Erin, and somebody who was like blind or something. But I mean, to me, like I said, everybody has some sort of. It might be to a lesser extent, but it might be to a greater extent. But she's the one who had like full on like wheelchair and like has muscular dystrophy. But oh my God, yeah, of course I'd work with people with disability. Like I said, in my mind, we all have something. We all have something.
There's no perfect person to walk it around or anything.
Oh, no. And whoever like keeps holding that as no, I believe that everybody, that's kind of like, like we all, there's always going to be somebody with depression or anxiety or, whatever it is. Whether it be physical or mental, I 100% believe that we all have something. We all have our own, but we all have something to offer. Despite, yeah. That's why I'm like, oh, you don't have to use the word still.
That's true. And like I said, I do a lot of stupidity, but I used to walk around as a yin-yang. I do it occasionally. And it's like, why do you have a yin-yang? It's like, because I'm a human yin-yang, up, down, left, right, good and bad. Because when I do something really good and make an example and a difference in somebody's life, like for you, I approached you and I wanted to give you an opportunity. That's a positive. And on the negative side, I'm probably going to do something stupid like I just did by telling you the story of what happened in retail. It's like, that has nothing to do with the show. But like I said, this whole point of my show is supporting a good cause, making a message, making a statement, and you're making a new friend out of it. It's uncensored, freedom of speech, self-expressing, uncut, no script or anything. It's just, if you're full of energy and you bounce off me, I'm full of energy and I bounce off of you. And it's more fun. Instead of saying, like, for an example, okay, today on the show we're going to talk about gun rights, and we're also going to talk about President Trump. And they're like, all right, that's fine if you want to do that, but I want my show to be different and be like cutting edge, raw, exciting, unpredictable. Like the story of my life. That could be a title of my book.
That's right.
But it's... go ahead, I'm sorry. But the point is, it's just saying I don't want it to be scripted. I want it to be real and authentic. And of course, I have no filter, so I just, whatever pops in my head, like the pyramid stuff, and I just like, well, I like that stuff. I would like to hear what you would think about it. I like to get people's different reactions. Like, why would you ask a question like that? Because have you seen TV shows where the host actually asks to see something like that? No, there's hundreds of shows like that. Why not be different?
Absolutely. I think it's great. That's a clever question, actually, if you ask me.
Now, we're going to
just look into the person and see how they respond. Yeah, I think it's cool.
No, absolutely. Now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, with the last 9 minutes left of the show, I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right.
Vanessa Lina. I'm Asian Lolo.
Hi,
This is Cynthia Bastinet.
I'm Sonia Fisher.
This is Shane Smith.
My name is Alexandra Bowie.
My name is Amelia Clover.
Hi, I'm Amy Linden.
Hi, I'm Anita Nicole Brown.
Meg Green.
Hi, my name is Asata Caldwell.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brooke.
Hi, I'm Bryn Berg.
Hi, I'm Casey Dunn.
Hi, it's Cassandra Kavinsky.
Hi, I'm Christina Briza.
I'm Cindy Hogan. I'm Courtney Sinello.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
My name is Deborah Jane East.
Hi, my name is Dinah Maasea.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria London.
Hi, I'm Heather Krona.
Hi, I'm Heather Callahan Stevens.
Hi, I'm J. Nicole Ralph.
My name is Jamie Petrell.
My name is Julie.
My name is Julia Brankovic.
Kathleen Wills.
Kimberly Amato.
Hi, my name is Laura Putnam.
Hi, I'm Laura Chapanis.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Damas.
This is Michelle Mupo, a.k.a. Fuchsia.
I'm Rachel Olivera.
Hi, my name is Sarah Joy Mount.
Hi, I'm Susan Brender.
Hi, everyone. This is Venus Leone.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Dana.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Herrera, and I was just on the Keith Andrew Network. It was tons of fun. We used up all our time and then some. I really recommend this show, and try to be a guest on Keith's show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 530. I am your host, Keith Andrew, and I'm here with the talented and beautiful Alyson Steel. And I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, the honor's mine. And because, hey, you're supporting a good cause, making a new friend out of it, and there's nothing to lose. And like I said, I interview everyone and everyone. People with disabilities. I interview people. Yeah, that was a mouthful. I interview people with disabilities and disabilities. So I interview everyone and everyone.
I love it.
What's that being said?
My first tough question is, and I'm making this seasonal in case anybody watches it in the winter. How are you wearing a long sleeve shirt in the middle of summer?
I have an air conditioner on.
Okay.
Also, I don't have really that short sleeve shirts. Like I have like a pink one, but it's kind of like, eventually I'll get it. But I like looking professional, and this is better than wearing short sleeve.
I love it. What kind of disability do you have?
So write a book on that. I'm pretty much like you. You're a 10, and I would consider myself more like a 5 or a 6.
I'm more like an 8.5, but thank you.
But
which means we're pretty close.
It is. I'm pretty much like you, only I learn at a slower pace. So for an example, somebody would say, okay, read what's on the back of the bottle, and you'd be like, okay, no problem. But for me, I have to sit there and I learn hands-on, and you can't just throw something at me and expect it to go like this song on one of my favorite bands, Rush. It's got to be like a fly-by-night.
Okay, hang on. Now I love you even more. Go ahead. Rush is the best. Go ahead.
It is, absolutely. I like 2112 and Subdivision. Those are my favorites.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Not a problem. Like I said, we can talk about anything. And
Are
are
you from New York?
Huh?
Are you from New York?
Yes.
Okay. And do you live alone?
No, I live at home with my family. I'm still looking for my own studio, as you can see. But it's kind of like, it's a work in progress. It's a long story about it. I can tell you more off the air about it. But it's kind of like we're taking one step at a time. Basically, the show, it's therapy for myself. Because I'm socially awkward, I have panic attacks, and I deal with depression. So doing the talk show, it's my way of getting comfortable walking up to people and interacting and working on my people skills. I'll give you an example. When I worked at North Face, I had an excuse to walk over to someone. I use this for a badge. Oh, hey, my name's Keith. And I still do that. It's like, oh, if you need anything, my name is Keith, by the way, because I swear my words. That's part of my disability. But I had a reason to walk over to people. Now, because I'm a talk show host, I'm not becoming a celebrity, I don't need a crutch to say, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm not the same person who I was about 10 years ago. I had my show then, but this is therapy for myself. You're hanging out with a friend. You're supporting a good message and cause. And it's a win-win, if that makes any sense.
You are so inspirational. You are... It's funny that, to me, when I hear with people with disabilities, they usually end up doing better and excelling further than the people who are like, whatever. Because the people who are like, whatever, they take it for granted. So they don't work on themselves. But you just have such a great go-getter, shining light attitude. And you're willing to dive in and be like, all right, this is it. And even if you make a mistake, you make it big. And I love that. I think that's terrific. You might have a disability, and I put that, but you don't. I mean, you are just so further ahead than so many people, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. I just have to tell you that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And why do people say that? It's like, you say you have a disability, but we don't see it. It's like, yeah, I put a good mask on, but it's not a physical thing. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean you don't have a disability. Mine's more mental.
Yes. And, can we see it to some degree, or hear it, I should say? Yeah, but so, you know what I mean? Like, I have claustrophobia and I get anxiety attacks too, so I totally get it. If I don't take Zoloft every day, this is me not on caffeine, so there you go. I need something to kind of like bring me down a little. So, we all have something going on, like I said. But you are totally an inspiration, and I love the fact that you dive in. You're like, you know what, screw it, I want to be social. I know plenty of people who are so antisocial and they apparently don't have any disabilities. You're far and away ahead of them. I love that. It's so, so cool.
No, you didn't. Well, actually, one more second. Like anything can happen in life, I found my cat in. But I would recommend getting off Zoloft as soon as possible. Personal story about that, I can tell you off the air. I don't want to get sued. But actually, the other question I was going to ask you is, have you ever worked in retail and dealt with BS?
Yes. It's horrible.
Like, for an example, what stores have you worked in, and do you have any funny stories?
I was at Coach for like 3 months. I worked at, I want to say Coach was it. Like Coach for like maybe I worked there for 6 months, something like that. But I worked in retail like for a little bit. I want to say there was another store, some kiosk when I was like in Stony Brook.
Did you like the Coach store or not really?
I didn't love retail. It was hard. It was really hard for me to be in a retail environment. I give you guys a lot of credit. I mean, yeah, I really don't think I could. You have to have a certain personality to do it.
Personally, it depends on what you're doing. For me, it depends on what I'm doing. The reason I didn't always get hired at Coach is things like, oh, we need you to work late. What is late? Oh, we need you to be here 11 at night.
That's why I didn't want to do it. You just, not exactly. That's why I was like, no. And I lasted like 6 months maybe. I couldn't do it.
Exactly. My last job, I won't mention the name, but then I'm going to pass the show over to you, and I promise I will shut up. My last job is very fancy and whatever, but they had to fold everything, and I couldn't fold. Like, okay, yes, I can fold, but it's not the way they want it.
Oh, I would never last at the Gap. I'm right there with you. Go ahead.
Well, it's not the Gap, but yeah, the Gap you have to fold anyway.
Yeah, no, folding perfectly. Yeah, no.
It doesn't matter now because I'm on the do not rehire list, but I can tell you the name after. But it's kind of like, let me do fitting rooms, let me do stock. I came to the store. It's funny because I went to the store 5 times in different years. So like 07 and 8, 9 and 10, and every time, maybe more than that, every time I walked into the store, I was like, you say I'm getting old. It's like, it's too loud in here. You can't hear the customers because you're talking over the music. It's kind of like, shouldn't it be the opposite, where you're talking over the music? And it's kind of like, and I saw how people are talking, do you need any help today? Yes, do you have about this? It's like, I don't want to work in the store. And so I walked out so many times, and I saw they were hiring for cashiers, so I said, screw it. What's the worst can happen? Like that should be another title of the book. What's the worst thing can happen? Trump is president. What's the worst can happen? But, so I went there, and it's like, yeah, you gotta work on the floor for a couple of days, and then you gotta be a cashier. Never happened. Because, like, the computer doesn't do anything, you have to do it. It's like, what do you mean by that? The computer does everything. Oh, you have to memorize the sales, the quotas, discounts, all that. Well, why the hell do you have a computer then? Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, forget it. I'm gonna try doing sales, and I couldn't remember where things went or the sizes went. I can't. I wanted to. This is the tip off right here. I wanted to quit on my first weekend. That should have been a sign right there. I wasn't going to last any longer.
Yes, I've been there.
But I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But the first question I was going to ask you is, are you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Twitter,
I'm on all that. I don't go on as often as I should. Like, people are like, oh, follow me. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not on it a whole lot, but I go on a little bit to do my due diligence for, like, people who are asking voiceover questions. And, you know, I'll occasionally post a picture or two of my kids and I or whatever. So, yeah.
No, if you have something to promote, you know, there's people like, for an example, oh, I'm still in high school. Yeah, you shouldn't be on social media. You can do whatever the hell you want. But you shouldn't be on social media because you don't have anything to contribute. Right. Like, if you went to college and you said you have a degree and whatever, and you're looking for something, or you're an actress, actor, entertainer, you're in the entertainment business, then yeah, it's good for you, like you and me. But if you're just like, I don't know, for a normal person, it's kind of like you lose your interest very fast. Kind of like, okay, what did you do today? Fed a cat. Great. Okay, what are you doing? Nothing. It's more like a tool for entertainment and media. That's what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, this was super fun. Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely. No, my last question for you, then I can talk to you off the air, is
right.
When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction, and what made you say yes, and how do you feel now?
I was like, cool, this is this is great. I love doing this sort of thing. I think it's fun. It's great for you. It's great, the person who's interviewing. It gives you you learn along the way and get more skills, and it also is just a good. And I think it's just good juju all around. It's like you said, a good mix of energy between people. You make new contacts and friends. You never know what's going to happen in the future. So I think it's great, and I still feel the same way.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Stay tuned for Off the Air to have a couple questions. Wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Absolutely.